Title: Under the Control of the Illuminati. Chapter 1: The Rise of the Illuminati. The world as we knew it was about to change. The powerful and secretive group known as the Illuminati had been working behind the scenes for centuries, slowly gaining influence and power. Their ultimate goal was to take control of the world and shape it to their own desires. They believed they were the chosen ones, destined to rule over the masses and guide humanity to a new era of enlightenment. Their methods were ruthless and calculating. They infiltrated governments, corporations, and even religious institutions, slowly gaining control over the most critical aspects of society. They controlled the flow of money, the distribution of information, and the people's minds. But their plans were about to come to fruition. The Illuminati had been preparing for this moment for centuries and everything was in place. They were ready to take control of the world and shape it to their own desires. The first step was to replace physical currency with digital money. This would give them complete control over the financial transactions of every person on the planet. They would be able to track every movement of money and use that information to control the actions of individuals and governments. The next step was to release a virus that would cause widespread panic and fear. They would use this chaos to push through their agenda, convincing the people that they needed to be saved from the deadly virus. The Illuminati would be the ones to provide the solution, in the form of a vaccine that would cure the virus. But this vaccine would also have a hidden purpose, to reduce the intelligence and creativity of the masses, making them easier to control. Chapter 2: The Digital Currency Takeover. The Illuminati had successfully implemented their plan to replace physical currency with digital money. The transition had been seamless, with most people accepting the change without question. They had been convinced that digital money was the wave of the future and that it would bring greater convenience and security. But the true purpose of the digital currency was to give the Illuminati complete control over the financial transactions of every person on the planet. They could track every movement of money, and use that information to control the actions of individuals and governments. With the implementation of digital currency, the Illuminati had gained a powerful tool to control the economy and manipulate markets to their advantage. They could cause financial crashes, create bubbles, and profit from the chaos they had created. But their control was not limited to the economy. The digital currency also gave the Illuminati access to personal information. They could track the actions and movements of individuals, monitor their purchases and online activities, and use that information to control their behavior. The people of the world were now living in a digital prison, controlled by the Illuminati through their control of money and information. They had become slaves to the system, unable to escape the web of control that had been woven around them. The digital currency takeover had been a success and the Illuminati's grip on the world had grown stronger than ever. Chapter 3: The Artificial Virus Plot. As the Illuminati had planned, a deadly virus had been unleashed upon the world. It spread rapidly, causing widespread panic and fear. The virus was highly contagious and had a high mortality rate. People were dying in the streets and hospitals were overflowing with the sick and dying. The Illuminati used this chaos to push through their agenda. They convinced the people that they needed to be saved from the virus and that the only solution was to take the vaccine that the Illuminati had developed. The vaccine would cure the virus and protect them from further infection. But the vaccine had a hidden purpose. It was also designed to reduce the intelligence and creativity of the masses, making them easier to control. The vaccine was mandatory and those who refused to take it were punished. As the virus spread, and people were dying, the Illuminati were able to pass laws and regulations that further restricted the freedom of the people. They were able to control the flow of information, and manipulate the media to control the narrative. The artificial virus plot had been a success, and the Illuminati's grip on the world had grown stronger. They had used fear and chaos to control the minds of the people, and had reduced their intelligence and creativity, making them easier to control. The virus had also served as a distraction, allowing the Illuminati to implement their plans without interference. But not everyone was willing to accept the new order, and a resistance began to form. The people who refused to take the vaccine, and those who had not been affected by the virus, began to question the true nature of the virus and the vaccine. They began to suspect that the virus was not natural and that the vaccine was not a cure, but a tool of control. Chapter 4: The Intelligence Reduction Vaccine. As the world struggled to cope with the effects of the virus, the people were starting to realize the true nature of the vaccine that the Illuminati had developed. They began to suspect that the vaccine was not a cure, but a tool of control. They had been given a vaccine that not only protected them from the virus, but also reduced their intelligence and creativity. The vaccine had been mandatory, and those who refused to take it were punished. Those who had taken the vaccine started to notice the changes in themselves. Their ability to think critically, to problem solve, and to be creative had been significantly reduced. They started to feel like they were living in a fog, unable to think clearly or remember things as they used to. The Illuminati had succeeded in their plan to reduce the intelligence of the masses, making them easier to control. They had used the virus as a distraction, and had taken advantage of the fear and chaos to implement their agenda. But not everyone had been affected by the vaccine. Those who had not taken it, or had not been affected by the virus, were starting to see through the lies of the Illuminati. They were beginning to understand the true nature of the virus and the vaccine. They realized that the virus was not natural and that the vaccine was not a cure, but a tool of control. The intelligence reduction vaccine had been a success for the Illuminati, but for the people it was a disaster. They had been robbed of their intelligence and creativity and were now living in a world controlled by the Illuminati. The resistance against the Illuminati was growing stronger, and the fight for control of humanity was about to begin.